So why did I start fly fishing was because a buddy of mine in high school always tried to get me to go out and do stuff with him. He was real outdoorsy, and so was I. And he told me about going fly fishing, and I said, I never tried that, but I love regular fishing. So I went out and bought a cheap Martin fly rod combo that was like 60 bucks, and started out practicing at a lake, just bass fishing and bluegill, and really enjoyed it just because the fight was so much better. And then we got into trout. I went with him one day just to a little stock stream near the house, and even though we were only using squirmies and power bait eggs, it was still really enjoyable. And then a year later, him and I got to coming up here, searching for some natives and some wild fish, and that's what really did it for me. Just hiking through the mountains and up and down all the streams. Just the scenery really got it in, did it in for me. The most rewarding part of fly fishing, really just the peace of mind it brings me when I'm out here, whether it's by myself or with someone else. It's just the serenity of being tucked back in the woods, no one bothering you, away from the stress of all the things at work and in the world. It's peaceful, and it really calms you down on the inside, and just kind of allows you to restart when you need one every now and again. So my favorite, I guess, type of fly fishing, we'll say, is probably a dry dropper rig on a small stream, solely because you get the rush of the potential dry fly eat of seeing the fish come up and just smack your dry and rip it off the top. But at the same time, you're also hitting those lower bottom, I don't want to say bottom feeders, but you're reaching the fish that are sitting down lower in the water column and aren't necessarily looking up. So you're increasing your chances with both a dry fly and a nymph running below it, but at the same time you get that exhilarating feeling in the sight of when a fish will come up and just smack the dry and take it off the top. And then same way it goes if the fly just disappears out of nowhere. And you set the hook and you feel that tug on the other end. It's a rush, and it can certainly improve your day and increase the number of fish you can catch in a day as well. Of all the times in the year, my favorite, like most guys would probably say, is fall. Even though you do have to deal with some of the leaves that pollute the streams, it's just the scenery in the mountains is so beautiful, with the leaves changing colors and falling, and just all the flowers that have bloomed that are now passing on. It's just really the scenery at that time of the year. Can't be beat. My most memorable, or the best fly fishing memory that stands out to me is when I got my first solo double. I was fishing a stream when I was living in North Carolina, running a double nymph rig from an indicator nonetheless, and saw the indicator drop. And, I'm thinking, it's just another fish. Set the hook. I saw one swirling with a nymph, and then I looked to the right, and the other one swirling. And it was at that point I noticed I had two rainbows on, and just scrambling for my net, hoping none of them would get off, and managed to scoop them both up. And it just, not many people can say that they've landed a solo double, but it's just awesome to see it and feel it, just because it's a very, very rare opportunity. Probably one of my biggest misses, I'd say, is I was fishing up in near Spruce Creek at a little stream. It was in the middle of winter, and I threw on a small midge, and I was fishing this little deep hole, and just my fly was drifting around in the slower slack water, and I saw the indicator drop, and I set it, and it just felt like a log, but then it started to tug back, and then only lasted for about 10 seconds, and my line shot loose. The hook never popped out, but the knot broke, and that was just a huge missed opportunity, because I could tell could have been a pretty decent sized fish. And just a reminder to always check the knots. Fished a good bit of water, fished in a few different states, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, a little bit in New York. I believe of all of my favorites was a stream in western North Carolina, just in the foothills of the mountains, to where you could start at the mouth and just hike and hike and hike. You could spend probably 8 hours just hiking from the mouth and still only maybe make it halfway up the stream. And it's just a stream polluted with wild fish and beautiful scenery. Just sometimes I wish I could go back there, take a trip back, and just enjoy that stream some more. Some of the things that really keep me going with fly fishing and keep me coming back is really just a lot of the adventure, all the places that it can take you. Whether you may be fishing for trout, bass, on the coast, but it really just exploring the next new mountain stream that's tucked away deep in a cut, and seeing what maybe I can find there, or how much better that stream may be than another. But it's really just finding the next hidden gem potentially, and it's one of the things that really, really keeps me going and on the hunt and keeps me coming back.